I tell our students as they enter, every time we change how we think about the law, every time we change how we think politics is supposed to matter, the universe changes. It actually gets implemented. We can see in our lifetime changes brought about by research done here at UCSD. Their work has changed the world, and I tell them they can too.
He really deeply cares about the endeavor of science, and so it's less important to him to be ideologically correct or to come up with the answer that someone else wants to define than to come up with what is the right, valid, empirically testable and provable answer to a question.
We work together on problems to solve problems, and along the way, the graduate students learn how to do research. I learn how to do research, the graduate students inspire me, and then every once in a while, one of these things makes sense, and you figure something out that hasn't made sense for years. You've been working on for 20 years, and it makes sense, and the graduate students are all around, and they see that magic moment.
It's one thing to know what the problems are that need to be worked on. Another thing is to get your students inspired in order to work on them, and one way or another Matt is able to do that consistently. And then there's an aspect of hard work and communicating that to your graduate students, and he does that successfully as well, and the proof is in the various students he's had over the years and where they've gone and how well they've done.
He pushes you, and so like a good coach pushes the players on his team to be better, he recognizes your potential and what you're capable of, perhaps even before you recognize it, and so helps push you to do that. And that means he also puts in a lot of time and energy that you have to match with your own time and energy so that ultimately you achieve the success that you want for yourself.
The skills I'd like my students to leave here with are mainly how to think through a problem. Because what we are as scientists, particularly as political scientists, we're engaged in problem solving. So we're offered a problem. How to make an initiative work, how to structure a regulation, how to design a constitution. And they need a skill set when they leave that they can be able to solve these problems with a compelling solution so that people in the discipline, when they read their work or when they hear their work, and people outside the discipline in Congress, in the state legislature, in state agencies, in private foundations we deal with all the time, understand the solutions that they've come up with and why they should pay attention to them.
As I've worked through graduate school, we've become more and more of co-authors and co-workers together. And so while certainly he still is my advisor and has much more advice for me than I have for him, we've moved closer to an equal footing where we work on projects together and contribute equally to them.
As I hold a Chancellor's Associate's chair in political science here, that funding allows me to make the following promise to my graduate students when they come in. You come to work with our team, and we'll take care of you until you're a full professor. We have students who hold 2 chairs at Columbia. One of my first students here, she holds 2, not 1. She holds a chair in political science and a chair in public policy at Columbia. We have one of our former graduates here who's the chairman of the Division of Social Sciences and Humanities at Caltech. We have students, several students at Yale, we have students at Harvard, we have students all over the country, and in fact all over the world. We don't just give them their PhD and send them off, and we take care of them all the way through.